You ready?
Yeah. Where you go? You disappeared. Waiting for Ethan. Ethan to come back on. Yeah. You hear me?
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
All right, here we go. You keep going out. All right, welcome to the Uncensored Philly Sports Podcast. It's gonna be me and Ethan, but Ethan internet keep disappearing, so you'll see him come on and off. But anyway, Sixers, they handled their business today. They did what they're supposed to do.
All right, here we go. I don't know what's going on.
So Ethan is back. It's gonna be me and Ethan.
Somebody, I hear somebody.
All right, so you good?
Yeah, we good. We here. You get introductions.
Yeah, but you can go ahead. I just briefly told him he was gonna be going out and in and out.
Philly Uncensored Sports Podcast. We here, man. Y'all know, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, man. Comment. You was a YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. You can catch us on all our platforms, man. Thanks for the support we getting too, man. Yo, what a game! What a game, man. Sixers beat the Pacers. I forget the final score. 22? Was it 22 or 23 threes? We hit this game again.
I think it was 23 threes. We set a franchise record.
Maxey had, he had 8 of them?
Yep.
Yeah, he had 6 or 7 in the first half. You like the portrait on Mastercraft? Yo, Maxey really came and showed out tonight. Biid too. Biid, Maxey had the team when they back, man. It was good to see. It's good to see, man. Maxey was a little up and down slump. It's good to see him break out that slump and go crazy. I would like to see Maxey. I'm trying to fix my shirt. I would like to see Maxey. What he had 7 threes in the first half and like 1 in the second. What was that about? I wanted to see him still. I would like to see them still keep going to him till he cooled off. We might have had 2 in the second half or something like that.
We wasn't gonna let that happen.
What you say?
Joel wasn't gonna let that happen.
Listen, Joel, the Pacers ain't really got no big man. They big man? He's out for the season. What's his name? Even though Joel does abuse him.
Oh, Turner.
Miles Turner. He's not playing. He's out. But listen, good game by the Sixers. Went over there, Indiana, beat Indiana. We faced them again Saturday, I believe, at 1.
Yeah,
but it was a good game. It's good to see. It's good to see Maxey playing like this. It's really encouraging to see Maxey playing like this. Harden's still the Harden of the year. I don't want to go into what I would have loved to see was Tyrese Maxey and Tyrese Halliburton grow backcourt for the next 7 years. That could have been like a Stephen Clay backcourt, but we don't have it. We got Maxey. We got Harden. But
Harden gave you 14 assists tonight.
He did. Who was he? 2 for 7 from 3?
Yeah, 2 for 7 for 3. He stunk from. He was 4 for 10, so he shot 40%. But he was 2 for 7. 11. He gave us 11 points. That's not. We gave a lot.
We did, but
a lot.
Listen, this is what I want to see from the team. Indiana's a bad team. Beat them. I hated to see how they cut their score down. But teams make runs. It's the NBA. They do have a couple good players. Buddy Hield made some shots. Halliburton made some shots. They had the guy, the wing. I'm trying to pull up my information. They had who's they wing play over there banging on them threes.
Brissett.
Was it Brissett or was it Washington?
Well, Buddy Hield had 25, so he the one that paced them.
He was 3 for 10 too from 3. He wasn't hitting. Halliburton had 21. That would have been a nice backcourt though. Halliburton, Maxey.
Yeah, that would have been nice. But I think I would have liked that better than what we got now. I do appreciate what James is doing, but like I said the first time, we could have got him in the off season. we could have got James Harden in the all season if we really wanted them that bad. But man, it was a solid win. What I appreciate about this win is the fact that this is almost like a glorified practice game, but they got a chance. Like Tobias, he got hot. He had 3-pointers. He hit 3 3-pointers in the first quarter. Maxey hit 3 3-pointers in the first quarter. They kind of got us where we was rolling that first quarter. In the second quarter, we just took off. Everybody was just like hitting. B was hitting. Everybody was hitting. I think we put up like 40-something points in the second quarter.
We did. Thibault though. Come on, man. Just make the layups, bro. Thibault, make your layups, my guy. Only thing I got, make your layups. Listen, even though Maxey had 30, I would have loved to see him take more than 12 shots. He was 9 for 12. I don't know why they didn't look for him. In the first half, they was looking for him. In the second half, they stopped. I get it. It's the B show. He went to work. But when you have a guy that's hot like Maxey, he's 8 for 11 from 3, 9 for 12 from the floor. When you got a guy like that feeling it tonight, get him the ball.
Biid ain't gonna do that. Biid ain't gonna let him get all like that. Biid is always gonna get his 40.
You go.
but Maxey did his thing though, regardless.
He did his thing, but what did he take? 3? What did he take? 3 shots in the second half?
Yeah, I would have liked to see him go for the record. To be honest with you, what's the record?
Yeah,
14. I think the record is 14 by Clay.
No, what's his name? I think what's his name got the record. Didn't
Clay Thompson got the
record. Did Covington just get the record?
That like button too. That button, subscribe button.
If he did, he might have just broke it. I know the record I think was 14 to 15 held by Clay. Somebody in the comment section might know. But I'd have let him go for the record. Like at that point he's stroking, but Biid is trying to do something. He's trying to accomplish something a little bigger in his mind, which is the MVP.
Yeah.
So I mean, because a couple times Maxey he was hot. Then when normally you do the heat check, and B still just took it and shot it. So I mean, he was on too. So I can't be too mad at B because it wasn't like he was shooting shabby either. He was shooting around 66, 70% throughout the game.
Yeah.
So I mean, they both was on fire, and B the engine. So if they both hot, you gonna go to him more than you gonna go to Maxey. But I'm glad to see Maxey out of the shooting stump. Y'all know me. I mean, I don't care how good Tobias plays here or there. I still think Maxey's the third cog to the big three. So if Harden playing, I mean, if Biid doing his thing and Harden playing solid and Maxey plays solid, I think that's a recipe for us to win every night. And then Tobias, he pick up his 12, 15, whatever he do a game. Because I think he only scored, 3 points at the half. He had like 12 the first half, and then he went Tobias. Hold on, I don't know if y'all touched on this, but Tobias get on my
nerves. Why?
First of all, it was a couple times he could have easily hit some shots against TJ McConnell in the post. And it was one shot in particular. It was like 5 seconds left to go on the shot clock. And he had TJ McConnell. He pump faked like 3 times and then passed it, I think, to Maxey or somebody for a last second shot. And they ain't make it. Or Shake. I think it might have been Shake Milton. But I'm like, bro, like, you got TJ McConnell. You shouldn't even need to do all that pump faking. Just turn around and shoot the ball. You 6'7", TJ McConnell, like 6'5", 6 feet tops. Like, what is you doing? Like, that joint irritated me. And then he just missed too much. He just missed too many easy shots consistently. Tobias get on my nerves, man. He got to go.
Yeah, he had a spark when he started.
Thank you. And Pumans on the play I'm talking about. That play irritated the daylight.
They said Covington had the record for the year. He had 11 threes. He had 43 points that game.
Yeah, the record for the season is the record period is Clay with it's either 14 or 15 that he got. And Steph is trying to break it bad. He just can't. He just can't because he just get too much coverage on him to get him that open. But
it's he could have dominated. He could have dominated TJ if he just chose to. But I got him. He was hitting. He was stroking. But this was the Pacers. I want to see them do this against like a real team. Like we got a good team coming up tomorrow. I'm sorry, Thursday when we play the Raptors. The Raptors are tall. I want to see if we're gonna be stroking like we was doing.
Yeah, because we got this is a payback game against the Raptors because they beat us that one game, and I heard the Raptors are real confident about playing us in the playoffs. They think it's gonna be a cakewalk. So this should be right here. Sixers should take this game personal coming up against the Raptors and really let them know who they playing against. That's what I believe.
Yeah, I need.
But
another
let me ask
45.
you, somebody here that's saying that's how it should be. Harden the third option. If you would have known Harden would be the third option on this team, would you make the trade?
Absolutely not.
No. See, but this is not Tim. Now we talked about this earlier. And I'm gonna give you all a little bit of background of what we talked about, right? First of all, Tim, you a little fraudulent. I'm gonna have to call you on it because
Why?
Because you and Wayne
There we
before the
go.
Harden trade. Remember when me and Ethan was on here saying there's other realistic packages we could get for Ben? I was a strong advocate of getting Jordan Poole in here because I watched him play. He got game. He still got game. Ethan was an advocate of getting Halliburton in here, and y'all kept saying no, trust Maury. All these trades is pennies on a dollar, and all this stuff like that. That's all y'all kept saying. These trades, all I kept hearing for months was pennies on a dollar.
Okay.
You need to get the best possible player. So guess what Maury did? He waited and he got the best possible player to y'all. He got the best possible player, the best bang for his buck. So now be happy with it. I don't want to hear no hating on Maury because y'all take for him for months. So take the trade and live with it.
Yeah, you sound low. You do feel like you're sneaking to do the pie. Like you don't want Sheree to know your wife to know that you doing it.
Sound low.
Yeah. But no.
First of all, I don't want Harden to be the sniper.
No,
I want him.
No, let's be honest.
There you go. Now, I sound louder now.
Way better.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. There we go.
This is what really happened. Wayne was adamant about not doing a trade and waiting. My thing was,
what was your thing?
I was hoping that Ben was going to play again. And I would say, whatever we do, don't make the trade. Wait for Harden in the offseason. I said,
you ain't say that. You ain't say that earlier. You ain't say that early on.
I did. I said, let's get Harden in the offseason. Don't give up all them assets for Harden. I was banking that Ben was just going to come. He's going to force him to play after the All-Star break. That was my hopes. But I did not want to. But
right now, is Biid your MVP though?
No, yeah.
Yeah, Biid's the MVP. This is why I go back to me again, and I always say I'm not huge on the vote on the awards. I don't care. I see what I see, and I vote in my heart. So if I say I feel he should have won it, this person should be here, I feel that people put too much stock on somebody's career accolades based on these voted on awards. I don't. Scoring title means more to me. Rebound title means more to me. If you lead the league in assists and steals, that stuff means more to me than some dudes who don't play basketball, sports writers getting together and saying, oh, we feel this person is the league MVP or this person's the finals MVP. I don't really care about all that. But in my mind, Joel Embiid should be MVP. That's how I feel.
Well, let me ask you this. Did Joel lose the MVP last week when he played against Giannis? Because to me, the national media has pretty much wrote Joel off ever since that game against the Bucks. They feel that Joel should have led us to victory. And I kind of agree with them on that. And I know
so you said, I thought you just said it was the MVP. So is he or is he not?
He's the MVP, but I'm saying I felt he lost it last week. I think he lost in the eyes of everybody because you had two teams. Okay. We were going back and forth, and then Joel didn't go up with that ball and dunk it. Instead, he let Giannis get that block. And that was the decisive. Everybody was watching that game. The whole world, the whole nation, all the voters, they was watching that game. And then B had a chance to win it. And sometimes you got to do something a little extraordinary. And he didn't do it that game. He played a very good game, but Giannis dropped like over 40 points. He was extraordinary in that game.
I mean, he was. Go ahead.
I think B, personally, speaking on things like if they don't give me MVP, they just don't like me. I think that actually hurts them. Don't even say nothing. Just go out and let your play show. Don't go out and talk about nobody don't like you because if they don't vote you for MVP and things like that. Now it's how you begging for it. Let's just go play like you did tonight, like you did the night before. go show him that you deserve this MVP. If it's, he really wants it. You know what I mean? That he really cherishing it. So
He
hopefully
wants
he gets
it.
to everything.
Who the national media is saying is the front runner now? Giannis?
They saying
It's
between
Giannis and Joker.
And then they drawn on a little Devin Booker, little sprinkles of Devin Booker is being echoed. I think they put his name out there now so that next year he'll be like the front runner.
I mean, any team that's in the got the best record in the league by far, I think, you should consider a player off that team. Like, I think you have to be considered by default. And he is a baller on that squad. I mean, they have a very good squad, very good coach. But I don't know. When I say considered, I mean in the top 5, 6, in that area. But I mean, I don't think Giannis is going to get it because they got Giannis fatigue. If Embiid don't win, it's going to be Joker. I'm telling you, it's going to be Joker.
Let me address that right now. They killing Halliburton. It's about he
premature.
He the ball 2.0. Ball from the Sixers, right?
Maxey.
No.
Evan Turner.
No, what's the dude we drafted number 1?
Michael Carter Williams.
Michael Carter Williams 2.0. Listen. Listen, Halliburton can play. You ever look at this dude's numbers? He's what's he shooting from 3 this year? She's do field goal percentage. He's a career 41% 3-point shooter. Michael Williams couldn't do that in his sleep. He's a career. His field goal percentage is 56. His true field goal percentage is 56% career, and he averages career 7 assists a game. Like, come on, stop. Dude can play.
Yeah,
He's not. Marco Williams can never shoot, and he's really long and plays really good defense. So let's not try to downgrade him because we don't got him. He can play.
Shout out to Ms. Miz. Good looking out in the super chat. He said Harden done. I heard A1 Sauce fly out when he fly. Oh, and look, I'm not saying Harden done. I do think. I mean, in a sense, I will give Harden a lot of credit because I do think he's trying to play within the confines of a new system. I don't think he's trying to resort. Every now and then he plays iso ball because that's his game and that's what we want him to do for real at times because that's why he's Harden. That's why he's in the top 75 all-time great players. But I give him credit for trying to play within the confines of a system the way he's never played before. And that's going to take a little bit of toll on your game because you've been playing years one way, and now you're trying to be more of a facilitator, less of a scorer, and then pick your spots here and there. That's a little difficult. So, I mean, I had to give him credit for that, and he's still getting assists. How many assists he had? I know at one point he had 10. I know at least he had
14.
Even 14. So that's what I'm saying. So I mean, that to me is impressive in itself. That you still dropping dimes and trying to be effective outside of scoring. I could respect that.
Hold on, I got to dress something out. Hold on,
shooting though. It's like from 3-point land is 2 for 7, and it's like you're struggling from 3-point land. That's concerning because that's supposed to be your specialty.
Go ahead, Ethan. I'll come back with that.
Real quick, Halliburton's averaging career is 6.9. So I just said 7. His career actually this year with Indiana, he's averaging. If you look at his stats, they split him up between what he did with Indiana and what he did with Sacramento. With Indiana, he's averaging in the games he played with Indiana, which is 23 games, he's averaging 17 points and 9.8 assists a game.
That's impressive.
So go look at your stats again. His career average, I said, is 7. His career average assist is 6.9. I'm not capping.
I would love to have that backcourt. Honestly, that Maxey and Halliburton backcourt for the next 7 to 10 years. I think that'll be a great backcourt. But Harden, I remember I looked at his stat right when KD first got to Golden State, and that very first year, Clay, Steph, and KD played. KD's field goal percentage, 3-point percentage went up. Steph and Clay's actually went down. And you would think, well, they got KD, they should be getting open looks and all that. But when you have to share the ball that much, sometimes your shot percentage goes down, so you don't get in a rhythm like you were used to. Like now, for instance, Steph commits 5 threes, but he got 5 more coming to him. So he could jack and get in that rhythm. When KD was there, you missed 5 threes, and KD like, all right, you ain't shooting no more. I'm gonna shoot the next 5 shots. You may not get a chance, you know what I'm saying, to get back into that rhythm like that. That's where Harden is kind of, I think he's dealing with. He's struggling with kind of trying to get into a rhythm and stay into a rhythm a little bit. I mean, I'm kind of spitballing because I don't think people are like, oh, he fell off. I don't think he fell off that fast. I just don't. I think it's a thing of him trying to get into a new system, get into a new situation, and figure that out, and still keep his rhythm too. That's tough.
All right. I hope that's the case. I mean, you got a good excuse for him. I don't know if it's true. Hope and pray.
Because what is this? If you think, what is this average? What is he usually averaging? 10 threes a game? Wasn't that was Harden's career? He was shooting around 10 threes a game, right?
Yep.
Is he shooting now?
I don't know. I'm about to check now.
So you need to have. Let me tell you about having your stats ready to go before you start shouting out what you think and who did what and all this.
Bro,
His
why
average,
you on that?
his average threes. His average threes is 7.6.
Shooting more.
So he's shooting 7.
Right now, he's shooting 6.7 threes a game for the Sixers. He was shooting his last year in Houston. He was shooting 12 threes a game.
That's what I'm saying. See, that's what I'm saying.
What was he shooting last year with the Nets?
Was it? Let's see. Brooklyn 7. Before he got traded, he was shooting 7, around the same. 7 with the Nets.
But that's what I'm saying. But he's playing. If he's coming to a team with more talent, he's over there with a team with nobody else, and you expecting him to jack. So when he comes to another team where you have other guys to score, and he's being a facilitator. That being said, he still got to make the ones he shoot.
Well, and everybody saying welcome.
Hello.
I don't. I mean, Maxey and Jordan Poole. I guess they. I don't know. I honestly think I might lean slightly toward. I don't know. I'll say this. Jordan Poole, as of late, has been more consistent. So I automatically kind of lean toward Poole. I mean, you got to keep in mind, Poole ran off a streak of games where he scored like 25 plus. It was like 10 games straight. He was in a zone, and he could shoot the 3. He could shoot the lights out. But Maxey, when he on 2, I mean, you see tonight, like Maxey 3 he's shooting for over 40% for the year. That's impressive. Shooting probably 4 or 5 threes, maybe a game, maybe around 4 threes a game. That's impressive, man.
He got a lot of wide open 3-point shots. Playing against the Heat.
A lot of them, some of them was dribble pull-ups though.
A couple few of them were, but I'm saying playing against the Heat, when that pressure gets on between the Bucks and the Heat, and it looks like the Heat got their mojo back. But playing against them 2 teams,
yeah, they do.
That's gonna be.
So let me ask you this, right? Because I know in hindsight, like we look at it now and we see what Halliburton doing and Hill. So is the consensus that everybody thinks that would have been a better trade than bringing Harden in? Because I thought it was understood that your star power, you win with star power. So I mean, would they be the guys to put us over the top now? And if not, if we're talking about down the stretch and in the future, we always talk about Biid window being small. So do you go for the vet to play with Biid, or you try to develop these young guys with him?
Well, 2 things. I think right now, I think Biid, the way he's got himself in shape, I think his window expanded. I don't think it's that 2 to 3 years that we're.
I don't either.
Him. I think he got a good 5, 8 more years easy. And so, with that being said, I would have gone with somebody that's going to be around for 8 more years.
To me, I agree with Tim. To me, I think you did both. You could have made the team better and built for the future also.
Do you think that Halliburton made the team better now than Harden would?
I think it make things the same.
Yeah,
especially with the expansion of Maxey. First of all, listen, if you're not going to win this year, right? If you think you're not going to win this year, then you're still looking at next year. So he can grow with Biid this year and next year and the future. You got your backcourt set for 7 years. You got Biid for another 4 or 5. So you actually set better with the Sixers with that, and you got Hill coming off the bench. You actually set better with the Sixers than that with Harden.
Well, I'll play devil's advocate to you with that.
think Harden will get better?
How do you know you're going to re-sign? So you're going to re-sign Halliburton and Maxey. Oh, right, but you're talking about for the future. So Embiid's going to be getting that money, and now Halliburton, and when they come in today, they're going to come into theirs around here at the same time. So you want to?
Because you'll get rid of Tobias.
Mm-hmm. I think they're going to go out to bring in. I hear what you're saying, but I hear what you're saying, but I don't know. I just rather have that bet going into the playoffs than with these. We've seen young guys come in and look great a year or two, and then you just don't see them no more. But we've also seen old heads fall off the face of the earth too. But he putting up 14
in the playoffs.
Huh?
When you seen Harden good in the playoffs?
He hasn't stunk in the playoffs. He's had some playoff series.
That's in the play. When you see him good in the playoffs?
I've seen him good in a couple playoffs. He was good in the playoffs against Golden State until CP3 got hurt.
This bull, and now you seen him good in the playoffs. Hold on. If he was good in the playoffs to CP3 until CP3 got hurt, then who was good in the playoffs? That was CP3.
He was still balling. They was going against Golden State.
But KD, yeah, I mean, Ethan doing a little hating. Ethan going a little hard on Harden. Harden has some clunkers in the playoffs, but Harden also has some phenomenal performances in the playoffs.
Guess what? You've never seen Halliburton in the playoffs.
I mean, listen, I'm not. The final determination will be obviously made when the Sixers season is over. If we win a championship, it was a great move. If we don't, then I mean, you can start throwing questions in there about Halliburton and should we have built for the future and try to make our team better. I did say this after the trade: if we would have gave up for Harden, if we'd have offered that package to any other team, we could have got a king's ransom. We could have got Halliburton, Burton, Willie Burton. We could have got any Burton we wanted.
LeVar Burton.
We could have got any Burton we wanted, plus some other players. So, but all that being the case, I still, because somebody mentioned, I want to touch on this real quick. Somebody mentioned that they'd rather have Halliburton or they'd rather have Poole over Halliburton. Not for this team, though. I actually would rather have Halliburton than Poole for this team because Maxey and Poole are the same player. So you needed somebody to run the point to facilitate, and that's what Harden has done for this team, and that's why we saw Maxey game flourish a little bit. And I still think as long as he's aggressive and out of shooting slump, Maxey will continue to flourish in that shooting guard role. But
that's why
we'll see.
Game seven, Houston versus Golden State. Just to remind everybody, Harden from 3-point range was 2 for 13. Just let that sink in. Game 7, closeout game.
That's almost close to John Starks.
Because he was the only man. He was the only man, and they was all
32. No, he didn't. Eric Gordon had 23. Capella had 20. PJ Tucker had 14. He's 2 for 13 from 3-point.
How much he scored?
He said 32.
He still had 32.
Yep.
Right, because they was playing the defense. They was up on him on defense, and he was getting fouled. Or he was
how many assists he had? How many assists he had?
6 assists. 6.
I'm telling you,
that ain't good. I'm big on field goal percentage.
He had 5 turnovers.
That's not good.
Yeah, that's how he playing right now.
Shout out. No, he got more assists. This
the other thing. If you build a culture, now all this is predicated on how well they played with Biid and Harden, but you can't tell me if they play well together. Some of these same young people y'all saying we could have got, you can bring them in free agency. Teams want to come to a team where they have a chance to win. So if you have guys that's coming into their contract years, that's just like, I think if they make a good showing in the playoffs, I think they're going to get either Bradley Beal or going to get Zach LaVine. I think Zach LaVine is going to leave Chicago.
Well, let me ask y'all this then. Would you be interested in bringing in TJ Warren next year and replacing
Toby?
Yeah, because he's been injured. He's been injured, so he's on next year. He's a free agent, and he's been injured for the last 2 years because of that foot injury. He's fully healed now.
I would give him.
You ain't back on the court yet, did you?
What is that?
Is he back on the court yet?
No, the Pacers. They shut him down for the year, but he's.
You don't know if he's fully healed. He ain't even got on the court.
But here's the thing: I'm saying on a 1-year deal, because that's no team is gonna give him a big deal.
No, I would take him. I would take him.
Bring him in because that's instant offense.
I agree.
If I'm the Sixers, I'm looking at him like he made $12 million this year. You can give him the veteran.
But that's another point that I'm making though. Harden has star power. Harden has a name. People want to play with people like that. Halliburton, people see Halliburton stars in their and superstars in their prime or good players in their prime. Don't look to go find some young guy to play with. Because remember, that was the whole case we had with the Sixers. We had supposed to have Ben and Biid. Remember, everybody was saying Ben and Biid, the next one's up.
Yeah.
Everybody should have wanted to come play with them then, right? Because now all you gotta do is plug in a couple vets. But that's not what the vets do. Vets don't feel like waiting for no young guys to learn.
But
depending on how good your young guys is too. I mean, if you got some young guns, LeBron probably he's thinking about going back to Cleveland with some of them young guns they got in the bull. What's his name? I'm gonna say Gordon, not Gordon. What's the young boy? Cleveland.
Brian gonna go wherever his son goes.
Don't be shot. Don't be shot. Cleveland would be a great option for Brown.
Brian gonna try to come to the Sixers. Watch, he gonna be like,
let me ask you this, Wayne. What makes you think everybody want to play with Harden, somebody that hogs the ball and takes a lot of shots? What makes you believe?
Where's he hogging the ball? Where's he hogging the ball? He just had 14 assists. Where's he hogging the ball?
Every superstar that played with Harden jumped up and down to get away from him.
That ain't true. He left the Nets. He left the Nets. The Nets didn't kick him out.
They didn't want him. Chris Paul didn't want to play with him. Paul didn't want to play with him.
That's a little falsehood on that. The Nets wasn't trying to get. The Nets was not trying to get rid of him.
I don't agree. The only why I say Chris Paul didn't want to play him because him and Chris Paul kind of play the same position. Chris Paul want to dominate the ball and run point, and Harden is a point guard. But as regards KD and all them, they didn't want Harden to leave. I don't. Tell me what vet in their prime said, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go run with these young guys because we gonna win." They don't do it. I mean, I got to think about that. But Miz, shout out to Miz again. Good looking out. He said, "Hold on." He said, "Do y'all have faith in Doc?" He asked 3 questions. He said, "With the faith in Doc, team ceiling, and is Maxey the second scoring option?" So, do y'all have faith? I know Ethan don't have faith in Doc. Tim, where's your faith at with Doc?
I put a lot on the players. We always try to put everything on the coach, but the players, it's stinking.
Coaching is huge. Coaching is huge, though.
Coaching is huge, but okay. I'll tell you one thing: Doc and this DeAndre Jordan situation is suspect because when they went on that run today in the game, and I think the third quarter when they cut the lead, we had a 20-some point lead, and they cut it. We didn't allow the Pacers to score in 3.5 minutes after DeAndre Jordan got the flagrant foul, which I thought was suspect. He got that flagrant 2 foul, and once he went out the game,
I wanted to talk about that. That was trash. Go ahead.
So that was like that flagrant foul.
That's completely. What this league is now. That's corny, bro. It's like if it looks ugly, then call it a flagrant. My thing, a flagrant 2 should be like if you purposely trying to hurt somebody or something like that.
They got it. The NBA got to get that out of there. Like that's killing the game. That's killing the flow of the game. That's could even possibly turn some fans off if you kind of on the fence of how you feel about it. Like they gotta get that rule out the game, especially with the old head loyalists like who swear every team play like Detroit Pistons back in the day. You get some of these dudes. And now they're like, oh, the league is extra soft. They wasn't doing that. And it's don't get me wrong, it's softer than it was before. Yes, it's definitely softer than it was before based on how they call the games. But I mean, they got to get that out. That was atrocious. I mean, it was at least it wasn't as bad as the Austin Rivers drawing when the ball faked getting hit and he got ejected. Somebody told me they reviewed the play and still ejected him. Hey, I said, how in the world does that happen? It was a complete whiff. He didn't even touch him at all.
I said, they got it. The flagrant helped us because the moment we got that flagrant foul and DeAndre Jordan got out the game, we settled. the defense settled. I'm telling you.
Hey, Kaiser, listen, Levine, we know when we're talking about signing a free agent, we know this is the thing. The Sixers are going to go after a max contract. This is what the rumors have been. They're going to package Toby to clear that money out. They're going to get Toby out of here to clear that space out, and they're going after another big contract. Harden has been on record and saying, whereas though he doesn't necessarily, depending on how things go, he might not go for the Supermax if it's going to help bring another star in. So you telling me Zach LaVine, like that's what I'm saying, like certain stuff can be worked out. Bill has been on record already. Bill has already hinted that he will want to play with the Sixers and want to play with Biid.
Yeah, but I'm looking at the hype though.
No, I agree. I would rather have
I don't
Levine.
agree with that at all. You think a dude that gives out $1 million, he gave out $1 million one night at a strip club, it's not going to go for the max. You out your mind.
Why? If he gave out $1 million, evidently he not
You
penny
think a
pinching.
dude that throws money around and gives, you know, his little friends like the baby and them $1 million birthday gifts, and you think he not gonna go for you? Crazy.
Okay.
You crazy.
Yeah, I don't
Same way
see
you
that.
thought Ben Simmons wasn't gonna miss his fine money, but he crying tooth and nail to get that money.
I never said that. I never said that.
Some dudes is different. Y'all told me that money was. Y'all told me that money wasn't that big.
Who's y'all?
I ain't never.
We was talking about them getting fined. We was talking about getting fined. He was like, that ain't nothing. He's still gonna get all. He gonna get the most of his money.
You never heard me say that.
He was still stubborn. He still refused to play.
No, y'all was talking like he's still gonna get the bulk of his money. And I said, and that's when I said, no, Ephraim did agree with me, because that's when I said, I don't care how much money you're making, you're going to miss whatever money they. I don't care.
I agree with that.
You're going to miss 20 million.
Oh, I agree. And I agree with that.
Arguing with the wrong chat.
No, but yeah, and I think.
No, it was the wrong chat.
But I think you just said in here. You just said I agree with that. But I know, but I said some people was saying. But I'm saying my thing is to get back to your original point. I agree with Ethan. I don't think if nobody's offering him a supermax,
and nobody's
then that's where the wiggle room is at with the Sixers, though. But he's going to try to get everything that he can get. I can guarantee you that.
No, but what I'm saying is, if he said he might be willing. The way that they might be willing. They were saying, the rumors were saying that he might be willing to.
And just said he was on record saying,
that he might be willing to do that.
I think he might be willing if he can't get it from nowhere else. Then he might be willing to take a step. I think it's all contingent off of what somebody else is going to offer. If Charlotte say we going to offer you the Supermax to come play with Zoe, he gonna be in Charlotte playing on the Supermax. But I mean, we'll see.
Only thing I say is I don't necessarily trying to figure out what he wants. He was just on the Nets. So if it was just all about that and being on the team that and the Nets, and they talking about the Nets with Kyrie and all them coming back, that they supposed to be the super team that nobody could beat, right? So, but he was willing to leave there. He didn't like how stuff was there. So I think he's that much of a wild card. Well, I don't know what he thinks, because he's all over the place.
Because my thing is, if he really wants to stay here, he would have signed the extension.
No, that he didn't sign an extension because we could have locked him into that 1 year deal. Now,
right, that's what I'm saying. If he really wanted to be here, he would have signed the extension.
No, because by not locking yourself in that 1 year deal, he can sign that 4 year max deal.
Exactly. He's setting himself up for a super payday.
All right, let me ask y'all this though.
I'm not mad.
I know, I agree. I've been seeing around the league sometimes is what I don't like is I don't think the Sixers make moves like other teams. Like for instance, Lance Stevenson was sitting around doing nothing and chilling, but he always been a certified baller. Do y'all think we could have got him and maybe moved out of Shake or Cork Maz or something like that? I mean, I even like I'm still surprised we never gave Justin Anderson another. I always liked when Justin Anderson came in here. Remember he came in here that series against Miami, and he bullied D Wade, was going off on us, and he bullied D Wade a little bit and took D Wade out the series, and we was able to win that Miami series that time a couple years back. So I mean, it's certain players like that. I'm kind of surprised that we either pass on, don't bring in, don't give a look-see, and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I'll be kind of confused about that, but he looked good tonight. Stevenson looked good.
They don't do that for some reason. Like the only reason why they brought him, I think the Pacers was being like all the teams, they was being a blow with the COVID. So because everybody in that team, they had to bring him in just so they have enough bodies, and he wound up being serviceable. But he was chilling the whole time at. Just reload.
Okay, Brandon Stokes. So let me ask you this, right? Bulls is quick. Hold on one second. Bulls is quick to just scream out somebody a bum, like Justin said, a bum. Okay, but then would you rather have Cork Maz? Like, look what our options are. Would you rather Cork Maz? Would you rather Shake? Bulls been calling Shake suspect up and down, okay, little player, and all this stuff like that. But then, when this other, me personally, I would rather have Lance Stevenson over Shake Milton. I'd rather have Lance Stevenson over Korkmaz. I know sometimes you try to go with the youth because you think, okay, if this dude turns into something, you think, okay, down the line we could have him for the next 8 years, whatever, if he's happened to be good. But I mean,
Lance is a radical. At times he do some real goofy stuff too, though. So he one of them.
Court don't.
I said I'll take him over Court, but I'm saying Lance Stevenson to me, like he start feeling himself and start thinking he cooking, and all of a sudden you'll see Lance come down taking like a half court shot or something like that, doing some goofy stuff like that at neutral point. So I mean, let me ask y'all this because we're talking about Harden's contract. Can't the Sixers sign him to a Larry Bird extension? A Larry Bird contract? Can't they sign him with the Larry Bird exception? Since he's Harden, since he's on Sixers roster now.
Yeah.
Because they say now, like if somebody go to offer somebody a contract, you can go over the cap. So could the Sixers possibly go bring another big time free agent in with their free agent money once they get rid of Tobias, and then re-sign Harden after that using an exemption?
Hey, Miz, he did cracking.
Well,
I don't know. I don't know how that works.
Right was that you could sign your player for over 15% more than anybody else.
Is it?
Yeah. What are you saying?
All right. I was just reading this. It says I done lost the spot where I was reading it.
Yeah, Sixers is the only team that can give him that super max.
No.
That's
so I'm saying though. So can they use? So can they use it? But can they use the Larry Bird except like if they bring in another big time free agent first and sign them first? Can they then exceed the cap and sign Harden to the big contract?
We're already over the cap. We are already over the cap. Like
I'm saying, when they get rid of Tobias and then go out and bring in a free agent.
So you add caveats to it, so they have to.
No, but this is what they've been talking about doing, getting rid of Tobias' contract.
That's why the trade. This is what y'all gotta understand. That's why the trade was so important more than getting him on free agency. Because if you got him as a free agent, he wouldn't get that 200 and whatever million.
Good.
Now that you traded for him, he's up to you have to give him that 4 or 5 year, 240 mil, most money league history. It was set for James Harden at 33. Not playing like Harden.
Phil Evans, Justin Anderson. Actually, I think you talking about him. He actually did play tonight. He played 5 minutes. He wasn't a DMP, but he actually played a couple minutes tonight. He a high energy dude. I guess her kind of right. He is like a Thibault, like he an athletic dude that defensive, give you a whole bunch of defensive energy, but his jump shot was a little iffy at times. I mean, I give you that, but I definitely would have liked us to bring in like a Lance Stevenson or something to give us some veteran presence. He a defensive scrappy dude. He ain't scared to stick his head in there.
How about they should have just put Paul Reed in the game? They got guys they could put in there.
Like Paul Reed, you talking about? See what I'm saying? What? Like he another dude, inconsistent. Young boy look good in spurts, and then
you say he's inconsistent. The coach has been inconsistent.
That's true. I agree with you on that. Marcus Smart is somebody said, I guess he like a Marcus Smart. They said Marcus Smart is way better than Lance. Steven, LOL. Yeah. He only likes to play winning. He actually knows how to play winning basketball. I'm not going to say way better, but I would take Marcus Smart over Lance, but I'm not going to say he's
Marcus Smart is way better than Lance now. Now, if you're talking about prime Lance, maybe something different. You think about,
I guess I'm talking about, I'm talking about.
You talking about blowing in Brian ear Lance? I mean,
that was a classic moment in NBA history. I think that's what got him kicked out the league. They're like, okay, you can't go.
No, what got him where nobody wanted to keep signing because he kept doing dumb plays. He gives you solid. He don't know. He's the prototypical dude that don't know his role. So he like plays, and when he plays, and then he get hot for a minute, then all of a sudden he comes down and start cooking.
No, some boys just get black. What's the boy with his nasty handles that just can't? He's too still could probably be in a team. Tim, the one you kept asking from the Clippers. What's his name? Yeah, Crawford. Some dude just they. I want to say blackball. I don't know if I want to say blackball. Oh, yeah, I guess almost blackball in a sense.
Crawford,
some boys just get blackball. Like remember they almost blackball Melo for a minute until they boys started campaigning for Melo to get back into the league. I think Crawford is still playing the NBA at least a year or two ago. He's been out the league for a couple years.
What's the boy from Portland again? What's my man?
Who Dame Dollar?
Yeah, Dame got he the one that got Melo back in the league because they were calling him.
That's what I'm saying. Some dudes I remember J.R. Smith, I was watching the podcast, he was talking about that. how some dudes who still could legitimately play, but they don't want to, for whatever reason. I guess a lot of teams want the young dude to just fall in line, and they don't necessarily want the veteran leadership sometimes challenging the coaches. The kind of like I guess how Jimmy Butler challenged his coach. The coaches don't want to run into the risk of that, because a lot of these dudes, after you play in the league for a certain amount of time, when a coach may be drawing up a dumb play, and you're like, bro, I've been playing in the league for 15 years. That's dumb. They don't want to deal with that, so they'd rather have a young player who they could just coach and not, and kind of be scared of that kind of stuff. But that's
was that Jacqueline? Was that Jacqueline Kemp?
Yeah, shout out.
I appreciate you, Jack.
She actually, I meant to get on a comment earlier, so she actually asked earlier, "What do y'all think Doc will be back next year?" It was rumors of him. The Lakers wanted him to be the coach next year.
Let him go to the Lakers then.
If we don't win it, if we win a championship, he stays. If we don't, it's very possible he leaves.
So
Doc
round does he have to get
must
to?
feel like he can only coach old ancient dudes. That must be what he feel like. He can't coach no young people.
I'm telling you, Doc came here. Doc is, I don't want to say he's searching. He's searching for a ring, but he is. I think he came to Philly because he believed that we had the talent to help get him a ring.
Which is good.
I think he would go to another team if he believed he could legitimately get a ring there.
I think Doc didn't want to get stale. I think he didn't want to get stale because when he got fired from the Clippers, he had a chance to jump back in the mix on a team that was looked as up and coming. Like you said about chasing the ring, but he wanted to be on a good team. He didn't want to have to go somewhere. And while he was sitting out there and he just lost another 3-1 series, a lead, Doc might end up filtering away and you don't hear nothing from him. He be commentating over there next to Mark Jackson.
He got 2 more rings, 2 more wins, and he's the number 9 all-time scoring coach, winningest coach in NBA history. He's
That's impressive.
Last year he had us the number 1 seed, and now obviously with Biid missing out on turnovers at the end of the game, we wound up losing that series. And then this year he had us winning, and but Ben wasn't playing despite that. So I'm not gonna sit there and blame Doc for everything. Does he do some questionable stuff? Yes.
Juan Q, I agree. If Doc, I wouldn't be mad if Doc left and we kept Sam Cassell. I think Sam Cassell, and I agree with some of the comments in there. I think Sam Cassell has a good hold on the team, a grip on the team. Sam Cassell, the way he communicates with the players reminds me how Monty was when he was here, and I wanted Monty to be our coach. I hated the fact that they let Monty walk away and kept that bum Brett Brown.
It's because we extended that series. That we played ourselves by extending that Toronto series and winning those games, because if we had went out early against Toronto, they would have fired Brett Brown right away.
No, we played ourselves before that when they was about to get rid of Brett Brown and B started crying and went into ownership and said, no, give Brett another chance. That's when we played ourselves.
It was Biid and Brand. Biid and Brand went here together and said, give him a chance.
Brett would have been gone. That's when we played ourselves at. And I wish they would have did that.
He be signing his death wish. He the one they asked him to want to bring in Morey.
And that's why, but that's why you need a Morey, because a Morey would have got rid of Brett Brown.
I kind of agree with that.
Alton Brand was thankful because Brett brought him up. You know what I'm saying? And the Sixers front office was idiots. During this whole, that's why Brett Brown was here so long. They didn't know basketball. You had the dudes, the owners of the team. The dude ain't even know basketball. The guy that be looking all spacey, what's his name? Josh Harris. He don't know nothing about basketball. He just went to Princeton, so he wanted to invest in the team. He don't know nothing about basketball. And then they was bringing in Brett Brown was their basketball guy.
They was making decisions by committee instead of having one person just being in charge.
We had a committee of idiots. That's why we actually see smart people in the brain trust of the Sixers now. At least it's people that know basketball.
Jamar, Master of the Craft, said, he said, Lance was just happy to be out there with Joel, LOL. Listen, when I mention name, don't think I'm saying this dude would have been the creme de la creme and he would have came in and been our number 4 or number 3 scorer. But I do think, I mean, y'all clowning Lance a little, like some people are. Some people saying, I think he'd been a good fit. But I honestly, I mean, what has Shake done that we think that nobody can come in here and replace? Like, right. Shake defense ain't that nice. His offense is his athleticism is suspect. Like, if you could get somebody in here to me who could give you some energy, some athleticism, some defense. I mean, he Lance showed you he can at least every now and then maybe go off of 4 or 5 threes or something. Shake. I mean, what does Shake
And then
do?
four or
Like,
five, and then 4 or 5 threes from half court.
bro,
I
I'm
don't
not.
need to let.
What is Shake doing? What is Shake
I don't-
doing? That's what I'm saying. Man, maybe it's me,
I
but
hear what you're saying. You're looking for the wild card, but I don't want that kind of wild card.
sometimes you need it. Look
I guarantee you,
Bobby Porter's OG Bobby Porter's did for Milwaukee last year.
No, he's not OG Bobby Porter's.
I didn't say. Did I say that? I said, look what he did for Milwaukee last year.
But
Sometimes the
Bobby
bench.
Porter's played his role and played what Lance Stevenson he's a wild card, bro. I don't want that wild card.
Okay, all right. So you'd rather have Shake giving you how many points Shake averaged? 5.
Lance Stevenson is almost like bringing in Pat Beverly. Like he's gonna do some old dumb stuff.
Pat Beverly is incredible. I would love to get a Pat Beverly on his team. You need that type of energy. You need a North Philly type dude in here doing the North Philly stuff. Yes, that's what you need. We cried for this before.
That can actually play something on the court, not his whole shtick is to be out there running up underneath the people.
He can ball. You see, Lance,
give me a Marcus Smart, somebody that can play and actually.
Lance gave you like 30. What Lance gave you tonight? He gave you double digits tonight. But whatchamacallit, somebody said, oh yeah, somebody said too, Wayne, that you love yourself some Paul Reed. Who was that?
No, I just like to see the young boy get a shot. Every time I see him come in there, he brings energy. He plays better than Millsap did. And Doc sure enough gave Millsap chances.
High society said that. He said you love yourself some Paul Reed. That's what I'm saying. You love Paul Reed, but then I mentioned Lance Steers. What Paul Reed do? It said Paul Reed claimed to fame as the MVP of the G League. That's his. Now I'm not saying he can't get better.
What's Lance's claim to fame? Blowing in another man's ear.
Yes, he went to that team he was on. That team he was on went to the Eastern Conference Finals. Now that was like 10 years ago.
It wasn't because of him.
He was a good integral partner.
Wasn't it somebody named Paul? What was the other guy name that was on that team?
Paul George wasn't even Paul George.
Yeah. Oh yeah, him.
Jackie, I do think that the Sixers brass they did give Isaiah Joe a shot. I think they gave him a shot more than anybody else. He just never stepped up. He wasn't consistent for me enough.
That's what I'm saying. Y'all love with the Isaiah Joe. Wayne love Isaiah Joe.
He is not a better defender than Thibault. No, he is not. Do you agree with that, Ephraim?
Who said that foolishness?
It don't matter. Do you agree with that?
I wasn't even talking about Pat Bev all the way. I was talking about Lance.
Somebody said Pat Beverly better than Thibault.
No, I would take Thibault over Pat Bev. Pat Bev.
Exactly. And we look at Thibault.
I would say this: Pat Bev is more intimidating than Thibault. He's more intimidating.
Ain't nobody intimidated by him no more.
That's you. He get in your head. He get in your head.
Everybody they laugh at this dude now. He's a joke.
Y'all know
I like Pat Bev.
I don't mean to nitpick, but there's a couple of things about the starters that I'm a little concerned about. Or not concerned, but I'm noticing. B hasn't been as consistent shooting free throws the last few games. He's more misses than normal.
Jamar said Charlie thought it was a taller Pat Bev. I'm sorry. Who missing more free throws? Talking about Joel Embiid?
Yeah, Embiid missing free throws. Yes. And then I think Tyrese has been getting a little lazy on defense. Like he's turning the ball over a little bit of a higher volume than and doing stupid stuff like trying to block the ball from behind, like whatchamacallit does, Thibault.
And that was the great block he did on TJ McConnell though when he beat that joint up. But Thibault, not Thibault. Maxey, to me, truth be told, he irritates me a little bit because I see plays where he actually could go to the rack and shoot more, and he keeps deferring sometimes. I saw at least 3 plays in tonight's game where if he would have kept driving to the basket, he had a lane to the basket, and he would just kick back. He would pull back and then pass the Biid or pass the Harden. I'm like, I know the 3 splashing and all that, but go. That's your money. Your money is nobody can stay in front of you. Once you get a head of steam going, you one of the fastest players in the league. I still want him to be more aggressive.
If they're playing off of him like that, he has to shoot it. If they're going to play off of him like that.
I'm just talking about there's a couple plays I saw where they didn't, and he had a lane, and he passed. I didn't like that.
Still gave you 30 points and 7 assists tonight.
What do y'all think about
Thank you, Phil. I know. I saw that. That irritated me.
What do y'all think about a couple coaches coming at the foul shooting of Joel Embiid?
That's crying. I ain't trying to hear that. It looks
like it affected the coaching tonight. You think it affected the way the game was called tonight? Because he didn't go to the line as many times tonight.
He was hitting.
I'm right with that.
Shout out further FAM. What's up, bro?
Remember I don't. The Cleveland coach say something. He was fined $15,000
Yeah, I
And you
saw
had
that.
I forget the other coach that said something about the way they call fouls on.
This the stuff that
Jordan
cracks me up, though. These teams come out there, their whole mindset is play physical, try to intimidate, wear Joel down, this, that, and other. Now you get called for fouls. Now you want to cry. You're coming out there to try to play physical on him so that he don't do stuff. And now you cry because you foul on him. And the problem that these coaches really have about them fouls is because they make them. Wasn't nobody crying when Shaq was getting hacked up like that, this, that, and other. They ain't care when Wilt was getting hacked because they couldn't shoot free throws. B shooting at that clip.
My question is there a problem with the way B plays? Because sometimes, I'm not saying all the time, sometimes he plays for the foul. You think it's more of that, or is it more of him?
They just mad because he's not on 18. If B was on 18, they wouldn't be complaining. But I don't like though that you got to get fined for that. I don't like that. That rule, I guess, or that law always kind of irritated me when you talk about the officials. You get fined. I think that's garbage.
No, you can't talk about the refs.
Yeah, that's corny because they are a part of the game and they can dictate what happens. So for you to call them out if they dictated you a loss because of a stupid call, that's corny. You gotta get fined.
Yeah, it's your job as a coach. I'm a ref. You coach. You do what you do. It's your job as a coach to try to get whatever advantage. Phil Jackson did it all the time.
I agree.
But my thing, I think Embiid made an excellent point. I think it was when he was talking to Draymond, and they was doing that interview he had with Draymond, and he was talking about the fact he was like, "It's the rules," and him and James Harden said the same thing. If I'm not mad at a player, if this is what the rules are, and the player plays within those rules. Like if they're doing like that's why they changed that. They changed the whole thing up. Like you can't sweep through and go to shoot the free throw, but it was a rule back then so that you shoot the free throw. So why are you mad at a player that knows how to? The defenders do it all the time too. When you can hand check, they will hand check. You don't see them saying, "No, I'm not going to hand check you because that's unfair advantage. I'm gonna play like this." They don't do it. So if a player is playing within the rules, call the calls. I'm just saying call the calls evenly all around. But if it's in the rule book and they playing according to the rules, that's the rules.
I agree.
We're going to wrap this thing up.
He a monster. He can't be stopped, man. He like, I mean, with big player his size who plays in the paint as much as he does, don't go to the line. Giannis go to the line a lot, don't he? B go to the line. I don't know what the Joker don't even play. He probably go to the line a good amount of times too, and he don't even play in the paint as much as B do. But I mean, that's what happens. You're a big man, you go to the line. Like Wayne said, they wasn't crying when Shaq was getting all whacked up and all this because he was bricking. He was shooting like 50%. So they ain't care.
It makes him mad because this man can shoot a three if you back off of him.
Yeah.
He go to the basket. You know how usually when a big man go to the basket, you run and take a charge. This man, 7 foot, 260 something, can Euro step you and dunk or Euro step, pump fake, twist, turn, and soft lay you up. Like it's nothing. Like you said, they can't stop it. So that's how, because he has so many moves in his arsenal, that's how he gets the foul calls.
I mean,
my thing is,
I just looked up Giannis and Biid. You know, Giannis' career free throws is 7. Biid's is almost 10. It's 9.6. Maybe that has to do with Giannis first.
Which Giannis this year, like this year in the last couple of years?
He's the same as Biid, 11 this year.
Biid's
11.
But you know,
this is Biid's last 2 years, 11 and 10.
You know what I think the difference is, Ethan? You know what the difference is? Remember before when Giannis couldn't shoot the free throw, he was shooting at that Ben Simmons type clip, the 60-something. Last year, remember I told y'all, once he started hitting them free throws, you saw when a player can hit free throws, they don't try to avoid contact. They look for contact. When you can shoot them, when you can make free throws, you look for contact because it's a free throw.
Yeah, it's true. No, I agree with that. I mean, what you gonna do? I say this: tell your players to play more disciplined and don't foul him and see how many points he get. He gonna get the points, and it just ain't gonna be off the free throw line, but it's gonna be on your head. So you pick your poison. Either yeah, exactly.
They only hit shot like 5%.
Facts. Either you foul him and send him to the line, or you don't foul him and get scored on. So it's like pick your poison at this point.
I actually think people don't like. I don't think I ever seen Giannis use the sweep to swipe through. I think plays like that is what people don't like. You know what I mean? Where they feel like you try to take advantage of the rules. And now when you got him, the problem is when you got him and Harden together, it kind of compounds.
I agree
But
with
guess
that.
what? I felt it.
I
I
do
felt the
agree
same
with
thing.
that.
When everybody cried about Brian with the flopping, he always flopping. It's a part of the game. So you're mad because of play.
Stop falling so much.
But honestly, I think he falls so that he don't get hurt.
He falls almost every time.
If you think about it, a lot of
Right.
times people get hurt trying to brace themselves or catch themselves from falling. That's how you tweak something. You turn
That's true.
the wrong way,
That's
stuff
true.
like that. If you
That's a true
fall,
point.
if you let yourself fall, a controlled fall, you have less of a chance of getting hurt.
Miz, I agree. Giannis is built different, but I agree with that too, Wayne. What y'all think the Sixers ceiling is? Y'all think we still finals aspirations, or y'all thinking Eastern Conference Finals, or what?
Well, Doc's job is Eastern Conference Finals.
At least.
We're gonna get out the second round. Doc's going, but this
don't
last
know
game,
why.
the way Maxey played impressed me, man. If he can do a third of this, I'm not even. What's a half?
It's only impressive if he do it against a good team. To be honest with you,
You play who's in front of you. You play who's.
It doesn't matter.
He did against Miami.
I need him to do this against a good team.
He did against Miami.
Let's see what he do on Thursday night against Toronto. Toronto is a pretty solid team. They're a good team.
With defensive squad too. Hey, listen, real quick. If y'all ever want to be entertained and have some comedy, watch the other team's broadcast when the Sixers play them, just to hear the. First of all, they be complaining. Like I was looking the game the other night, and then B hit like the step back three. Like you heard the Cavs announcers, they was like, "Yeah, see, that's the shot you want to be to shoot." Oh my goodness! Like what? Like there's nothing you can do. Like it's like you just heard the despair come up in their voice. I love it.
Yeah, that is funny. I think one of the funniest comments I heard was from another team broadcast. I forget. It was like one of them YouTube shorts, and somebody did something, and the broadcasters was hating so bad. It was hilarious how mad they was at like another player on the other team or something. Them jokes be kind of funny. I mean, I do a la whatchamacallit be doing that sometimes. Like they be homering up extra hard sometimes on some of the calls. Like, come on, stop.
Oh, I said it in the chat earlier while y'all was on here. There's no way Joker should win an MVP over Embiid or Giannis. They play both sides of the ball and dominate both sides of the ball. No way Joker should win MVP over them.
I agree. I got a feeling they're going to try to give it to him, though.
I do
the
too.
Powers
How they
that
do.
be.
Like it's Steve Nash all over again.
Steve Nash all over again. That be is going to try to give it to Joker. But, excuse me. We'll see. Let's see. But good win. I'm glad we won. Maxey looked good. He out of shooting slump. Hopefully it's right on time and he carries this into the playoffs. That's all I'm hoping. If Maxey plays like this Maxey tonight, we winning the championship.
Oh, real quick, hey, Juan Q, yeah, that's what it was on. It was on JJ Redick pod. That's what I heard it on when Biid was talking about the fouls.
Yeah, we're gonna catch y'all on Thursday night after the game. It's, to me, that Thursday night's game is real important. Going against Toronto because right now that looks like that might be the matchup that we have in the first round of the playoffs. So think about that.
Sixers by 15.
All right, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. We'll catch you on our next podcast. We out.
Deuces.
Peace.